A Newshub investigation has uncovered a doctor in Christchurch handing out medical certificates as exemptions for the vaccine.
The registered GP boasts that one of her certificates has been used to evade international border control and coaches her patients on how to get around vaccine mandates. National correspondent Patrick Gow reports.
Into the doctor for an appointment.
What's the date today?
2nd, and you don't have to wear your mask if you don't want to.
But this doctor is different. No masks are needed.
You don't have to wear your mask in here. Sorry.
The waiting room is full and Dr. Joni Gerard knows why they are there.
I understand everyone is here because they're concerned about the mandates and not sure how to negotiate that.
They don't want the COVID vaccine.
And you're here because you're not crazy about being vaccinated. Right, okay, you're in the right spot.
The doctor making her view on the vaccine clear.
I mean, really, this is horrible, horrible medicine.
Dr. Joni Gerard is a registered GP who runs a weight loss clinic in Kaiapoi. We learnt that she was issuing medical certificate exemptions to the vaccine to anti-vaxxers. So we decided to go in undercover.
Good to go.
Stay safe. With a highly experienced journalist using a hidden camera, I was able to listen from the car as he posed asking for an exemption so he could work on mandated building sites.
What we're trying to do is give a medical certificate saying that you've been assessed and it is not appropriate for you to receive the current vaccine.
How will that help you? It depends on negotiations with your employers.
She's talking explicitly about how to negotiate with an employer about not being vaccinated.
She even boasts about one of her certificates breaching international border control.
I have had someone be able to fly to Australia last week on one. So, I mean, we have had some success stories reported back to us.
After her opening spiel, Dr. Gerard starts seeing people one-on-one.
I'm going to start over here because I know you've been here the longest, okay?
It is important to note that proper medical exemptions can only be granted through the Ministry of Health.
Sorry, I've been waiting. Come on through, sir. Yes. Could you tell me why you don't want to be vaccinated?
I've been researching it.
And what do you find that you're worried about?
I don't know where to start.
It is also important to note that doctors like Dr. Gerard are meant to be vaccinated, and she isn't.
Now you can force me. I'll stop practicing medicine before I'll get vaccinated with this vaccine. I have had lots of vaccines before, but not this one.
Right.
Dr. Gerard says she has applied for an exemption but has not heard back yet and will keep practicing until she hears.
I'm going to check your blood pressure. That's all right. And really, that's just to show that, in fact, you were physically here. And again, that's just documenting. So if anybody questions you, well, did you even see a doctor? We can say, yeah, you did.
Dr. Gerard is clear that the exemption will not necessarily work to get around mandates, but explains how to sell it to employers. And after just 6 minutes, our journalist is given his medical certificate.
So make a copy of it. Don't keep the original always on you, okay? Just in case something happens, it flies away.
Yeah, I'll laminate it,
And when they ask you for it, just say, here you go. And when they say, well, what is this? That's when you explain what it
do my
is.
spiel.
Yep, that's when you do your spiel. You say, I've been using it all over the place. No one's had a problem.
Okay. All right.
You sell it.
Thank you very much.
You become a salesman. Okay?
Thank you.
They don't know what they're doing. You got to coach them.
$80 later, he leaves.
Thank you very much.
No, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right. Okay.
What happened, mate?
Well, she came out and spoke to, I think there was 6 or 8 of us, and spoke to us all, told us that she was going to issue us a certificate that, wasn't necessarily legally binding, and then she taught us how to deliver it.
The certificate says he has been examined by me and I've determined based on his medical conditions it would be inappropriate or unsuitable for him to be vaccinated. And it is signed by Dr. Gerard, a doctor registered with the Medical Council.
Jodie, I want to ask you about this vaccine.
Remember, she only took his blood pressure as a token gesture.
You're giving vaccine certificates
Leave
to people.
me alone.
Jodie, why won't you answer?
Because I'm not talking to any journalists. Leave me alone.
Why won't you answer our questions? It's very important. Why are you giving certificates to people, exempting them from the vaccine?
Dr. Joni Gerard.
I mean, really, this is horrible, horrible medicine.
A doctor ignoring the rules.
And Paddy joins us now. Paddy, what have authorities told you about how this doctor can be stopped?
Well, there are multiple investigations underway right now by the various authorities who can get involved here, even on the briefest of information I provided them today, not even having watched that hidden video. The Ministry of Health, where I'm standing right now, is investigating, and it says under its vaccinations order it can actually issue fines or even impose a penalty of up to 6 months in prison for intentional breaches of that order. Now, the Health and Disability Commissioner is also involved. It says it is assessing complaints about these exemptions, and my understanding, in fact I know for a fact, that one of those complaints is about this particular doctor, but the Health and Disability Commissioner says that it cannot actually stop this doctor from practicing. That comes down to the New Zealand Medical Council, which has said that practicing unvaccinated in person is a clear breach of its professional standards, as is giving anti-vaccination messages to patients, another clear breach of its standards. And to add to all that, WorkSafe has also told me it's making inquiries, and government sources have just come to me and said that the New Zealand Police may also get involved. But the big question about whether this doctor can still practice tomorrow as a registered GP is still open. Nothing to stop her from opening her doors down there tomorrow.
So how many of these false certificates do you believe are out there in the community?
Potentially quite a lot. Our investigations have shown us that this doctor has done that kind of meeting where you saw 6 to 8 people get their vaccination certificates in one go, has done several of these. So there could be actually a large number of unvaccinated people going onto mandated premises in Christchurch right now and posing some kind of danger to people who don't even realise. Now, another issue that has come up in my conversations with the Health and Disability Commissioner is that 11 complaints have been issued about these vaccine certificates. That could mean potentially up to 11 doctors around the country are also onto this sort of scheme of issuing these vaccine exemptions, which could mean it's not just limited to the Christchurch and Canterbury area. It could be much bigger than that and a problem for all of New Zealand. Now, just on those vaccine exemptions, they can only be granted by the Ministry of Health. The Ministry of Health says there are only 325 people in the country who are entitled to them. They have to be signed off by the Director General of Health, Dr. Ashley Bloomfield himself. So if you see those vaccine exemption certificates out there, they do not work.
Patrick Gower, tēnā koe.